Hey guys, so this is the weekly update, and we are focusing this week on foreclosures and short sales in Clark County area. I've had a couple of questions through Facebook and emails and all this saying what's going on with that portion of the market, and is it time to invest? So here are the numbers, okay? So when we let's look at a little bit, just kind of that really close week at a time kind of review that we've been doing, and we look at how many went active, how many went pending, those types of things. From last week to this week, not a huge difference on pendings. It was like 122 went pending to 124. I mean, it was pretty much almost the same, which means the buyer activity is pretty stable in terms of those who actually have the buying power and are making a move right now. Now, when we look at that compared to how many new active listings do we have, because if the buyers are buying at this rate, we want to make sure sellers are also selling at a similar rate in order to keep the inventory balanced. It's still a strong seller's market. It really just is in terms of inventory numbers. So last week we had 138 new homes, condos, whatever, all throughout Clark County go live. The week before we had about 115. So we did go up in the number of sellers who were feeling more confident with getting back on the market. There were a couple that had been withdrawn in March. We see them popping up now as they're feeling like, okay, things are going to be all right. I feel good about getting back online. Hi guys. And compared to last year, the same time though, we did have more people go active the first week of May in 2019. And so, like I said, one of the questions that I was having is how many of those are short sales, how many of those are bank owns, and what does that look like for us as potential sellers and or buyer investors? So that's a really good question. And the last few years, we know it's been a seller's market. When you look at the numbers, I have investors who these last few years have said, hey, everyone says, I want a really great deal. I want a good deal. Get me a bank owned because I want a really good deal. And the issue is, and I usually just sit them down and I just pull the numbers because that way you don't have to trust my numbers, but we can look at it and learn together. And I'm happy to do that with anybody. Right now, the numbers show that there were, in all of April, there were 6 bank owns. What was interesting, that's not many. Okay, that's very, very few. There was one, I think we just had like one short sell in the time period that I looked at. One. I didn't expect to see bank owns pop up too fast because bank owned, REO, and foreclosure, they are not all the same. So when you're on a site that says this home is in foreclosure, this is I'm not going to say foreclosed because that's different, but foreclosure is a process. So if someone's in foreclosure, it may mean that they're late on their payment by a couple of months, had medical issues, lost their job, who knows, and they've got a notice of default. They still could be fine and make this work and not go to foreclosure, or they may go to short sale, whatever it is, it's going to be a while. So I didn't expect to see that, okay, we have COVID-19 happen, we have bank owns right away. We won't see that. If it's going to hit us hard with that, we probably will see that in about 6 months. Foreclosure is a process. And until it's bank owned, we can't do anything with it in terms of buying it. And this is the important part about bank owns. I saw one that was brand new construction that was said bank owned. That one concerned me just a little bit because I don't really want to see new construction switching over to bank owned. So the other ones though ranged from $200,000 up to $1 million, and most of them were pending within about 2 weeks. A lot of them will be cash. A lot of them will be they are as is, and they are going to be full. Some had multiple offers. So the idea of coming in low on bank owns in this market, it's not your best strategy for getting a great deal. It doesn't exist very often. Now, that being said, if you are a cash buyer, I have a number of investment groups that I am connected to, and almost weekly in the last month or so, I'm getting notices before they even hit the market that they're going to be basically ditching their inventory. They've been buying up these pre-foreclosures or whatever. They're saying some of our investors are backing out. We have too many. Here's this great deal. You can get it now. You better be cash and you better know what you're doing, because there was one that was of interest and I was going to send it out to some people that I know. And I said, well, what if you don't get that minimum bid that you're looking at? Let's say it was $240 and he was saying fixed up it could be worth $290, which looked reasonable. It really did. And I looked at it and I thought, well, maybe we could get it for 210 because it sounds like they're desperate. So I called and said, hey, I have a couple of cash buyers who might be interested in it. What are you guys going to do if you guys don't get that 240 bid? And he's like, we already have 3 cash offers over 240, so we're good. So that's not happening yet. It may happen if they get too many. The important thing to look at is the numbers with short sales and bank owns. You go back the last few years. Here, I just pulled this real fast. So this is kind of interesting. So last year, bank owns 3. I'm doing the same time period, all of April, okay? There were 3. 2018, there was 1. 2017, there were 11. 2015, there were 34. 09, 89. Okay, so we see this huge, before 2010, same thing with short sales, 183 in the month of April in 2010. Now, 1. So we don't have that happening. If we watch this market and we see the change in the numbers change, that's the time to really make sure that you're in a place that you want to be, so that you don't, in case things continue and take longer than we hope to recover, that you don't end up stuck in a home you don't want to be in. And what I mean by that is if you see over the next 2 or 3 months that your neighbors all go on the market and 3 of the 4 are distressed properties, short sale bank owns, eventually that's going to affect your bottom line. So you better plan on staying a while till the next cycle, or you need to think about moving if it's not the best fit for your family right then. So 1 or 2, a couple here and there, we're fine. Starts to go up, increase quickly, we're going to be in a little bit different spot. We won't know about the bank loans for a while. Short sales, if you know anyone who is ever in need of some guidance on how to save themselves if they're behind a payment or 2, please have them call me. Send me a message. I'm happy to talk about it. No charge. I'm not looking for a listing. I'm not looking to help them short sell. I'm helping to educate so that people don't bury their heads and end up in a situation that maybe they didn't need to be in. There are lots of ways to make things work, and if it's not meant to work, there's a lot of options other than just burying your head and going to foreclosure, which can be so damaging. So that's my spiel on short sales and foreclosures. Not a lot out there. Investments, I think we'll see more investors. So if you have, I've got probably a group of about 7 people right now. I'd like to have 10 to 12 local people working on some investment properties. So if that's something you're interested in, send me a message and we can chat once we get that group up and running. And otherwise, I hope you guys are having a good day. It's beautiful out. The market is going strong. We're working. We have a couple new listings coming up. Some on some acreage. If you're looking for something there, who do I have? Thinking who? I have a buyer who really wants a place for their family, a daylight basement. So if somebody has a daylight basement kind of thing, then let me know. If it's not on the market, but a daylight basement, they would really like that kind of situation. And there's not a lot out there. Probably around, what was their price on 400 range? I don't know. But yeah, if you got that, let me know, because that would make them very happy. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. Have a great night. Bye. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Pamela. I can't read very well, you guys. Oh, Frankie Edmonds, you saved our bacon. I love you. Bye, you guys. Have a great day.